We're target left. Go, 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 go. Right. Blue. We're going. We're going right now. Let's go. We're going. Was this safe, right? I don't know. I'm way back to the portal and arrived shortly after Bryce and Sebastian. Well, I can confirm that it's not turning on. I told you that already. I just wanted to be sure. You really think it would still work with a chunk ripped out of it? Hey, I'm not an engineer. We don't know how this portal works. It's worth another try. There you are, Sir Project. What do you make of this? I'm afraid I don't know any more than you do. I'm not an engineer either. In that case, we should start thinking about the who and when. There are patrols assigned to the portal and surrounding area day and night. Something untrapped with the portal, they must have seen something. Today's day patrol didn't notice anything unusual though. I guess she missed the part about the portal being vandalized. It's easy to overlook. It's a small part of the machine, and it's not like she was expected to check every square inch of it with each lap around the area. What about the night patrol then? When I went over the reports this morning, I noticed the night patrol hadn't handed theirs in yet. And who was patrolling last night? Let me think for a minute. Schedule always goes in a certain order, so last night would have been... Damn. What is it? The night patrol for last night would have been Maverick. I got wrapped up in all the reasons. Idiots. I got wrapped up all in the recent chaos and forgot to find a replacement for him when he went on sick leave. Maybe Emerald was right to take me off this case. So there's not night guard here after all? That's right, whoever it was had an easy time doing whatever they wanted. Could it have been Maverick? If he knew no one was going to be here, he could have used that knowledge to his advantage. He couldn't have known that I'd forget to find a replacement, though. I don't usually slip up like this. What about Reza? Why would he have done it? He's cutting off his only way out. No, he's doing something smart. If he had the parts needed to get the portal working again, he's in control of who gets to use it. He's cutting out our ability to communicate with mankind. We wouldn't be able to get information out of them. We wouldn't be able to inform them of Reza's actions. Maybe we shouldn't have kept the investigation secret for this long. If your theory is true, then that would be proof of that Reza's actions are his own, not humanity's. Hey, I already trust you on that. Or it's a stunt to grant humanity plausible deniability. No way. Things that are too dire for humans to take such an extraordinary risk, especially for that. I'm sure that wouldn't be the only reason they benefit though. There must be something we're not aware of. Maybe we're looking at this from the wrong angle. If no one was here to guard the portal, anyone could have broken it. It doesn't necessarily have to do anything to do with Reza or Maverick. But they still have the greatest motives. Sure, but they definitely aren't the only ones to have one. There could be private groups who are interested in the technology or its significance as a human artifact. So that puts us exactly nowhere. At least as far as speculation is concerned. It's about time for forensics to show up. Anyway, let's hope they can pull some clues from all of this. Sebastian, can you take it from here? You've been just as dedicated to the case as I have. Since I have to be at the minister's side for I'll like you to take charge of the investigation for now. Thanks, Chief. I won't let you down. What's up with that anyway? Being appointed as Emerald's bodyguard as punishment just seems strange to me. Are you kidding? I could have lost my job. This is a way better outcome. Honestly, she probably did it for her own sake more than anything else, but I'm not complaining. And that's all. I'm going to head back to the ministry. I shouldn't keep her waiting. So, what does that make you now? Temporary chief? More like case leader. By the way, you won't need to stick around while forensics does their job. Thanks for your help. And soon you can find your way back to your apartment. Yeah, of course. Alright, I'll see you later then. See you. I considered spending my free time roaming the town, but then decided it would be best to keep myself out of the spotlight. After cooking myself a rudimentary meal, I considered picking up another book when the doorbell rang. Hey, Sir Protag. Hey, Sebastian, do you need my help again? We're just a small town police department and we're bright removed from the case. Our resources are thinner than ever. I understand. So what do you have for me? First off is the primary witness in the latest murder, the victim's colleague Anna. She was the one who found the body. A few things have changed since this morning, and we've gotten some additional information from forensics that warrants further questioning. She can be found in the production facility. You seemed interested in that underground building found near the portal. I realized that you might actually be able to help us with that. Since it's suspected to be a human origin, your opinion would be greatly appreciated. I guess I should add archaeologist to my resume. Maybe human matters consulate would be more appropriate. Do you really think it's okay for me to tamper with your priceless discoveries? Oh, you wouldn't actually go there in person. I just want you to take a look at the collected information in the archives and give us your opinion. Besides, no one is allowed to visit at the moment. The building is old and unstable, and there is danger of it collapsing or flooding. Obviously, we don't want either of those to happen. Flooding? Yes, the whole building is underground, and we determined that there is a rather large bucket of water surrounding it. Any kind of disturbance could endanger everything and everyone inside. I see. We also located another witness for the latest murder. A store clerk reported seeing and hearing something, so it's probably worth it to ask him a few questions. Got it. Here are all the details. Visit me at the department once you're done. Sure thing. It was interesting that they still relied on me for the investigations, even after they tried to send me back to my world. I didn't expect them to allow me to help with police matters after everything that just happened. Now that the possibility of sending me back was eliminated, the advantages of having me on the side apparently outweighed the risks. Though I had to wonder who would have to be more careful from now on. What should we do? We're going to visit the police archives, I think. I was on my way to the police station when a voice called out to me. Hey, you! I'm talking to you, human! Oh, we got a new guy. What's his voice gonna be? I think it's a he. Yeah. Women don't have beards. Can I help you? I certainly hope so. I'm in a little conundrum here. My card seems to be stuck. I can see that. I catch Shiro, by the way. Local ice cream vendor. Sir Partak, you probably heard of me by now. Of course, of course. In any case, do you think you'd spare some time to help me out? It might take a while though, so I hope you're not in a rush. Do we really have time to help out an ice cream vendor? Fine. Thank you. Now, I've already tried just pulling it out, but I think the axle is going to break if I try and do that again. It wasn't really in the best condition to begin with, honestly, and I heard a crack when I tried to pull it out earlier. So what do you want me to do? The cart is pretty heavy, so I'll be the one lifting and holding the wheel steadily, so the axle doesn't break. Once I give you the sign, you can start pulling, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Alright. Here, grab the handles and wait for my signal. By the time I've gotten into position, Kashiru was already on the other side of the cart, getting dirty as he slowly lifted the affected corner of the cart outside of the mud hole. Is that your sign? Should I start pulling now? Do it now! I started pulling, but the cart turned out to be much heavier than I expected and didn't move. What are you waiting for? Do it already! I pulled harder, but the cart still refused to budge. I mustered all my strength before I pulled as hard as I possibly could. Yes! Do it! Slowly the cart started moving, and after a few seconds it was freed from the perilous clutches of the muddy pole. With a dull thud, the dragon set the cart down again before we flopped onto the ground, exhausted. Hey, we did it. Yeah, good job, young whippersnapper. Do you want me to call you some help? No, I just need some rest. And maybe some ice cream. Yes, I'll have some ice cream and I'll be better in no time. That must be some pretty good ice cream. Oh, you have no idea. You must have already heard people talking about my wonderful, unique ice experience. This ice cream, man. Actually, not really. Oh, where's my manners? I haven't even properly thanked you yet. It's no problem. No, I insist. I won't be indebted to you for helping me. What are you planning? Do we really have to waste more time? You are hereby indebted to join me for ice cream. As an ambassador, you owe yourself and humanity to do right. God, we're wasting time. Well, I must be getting going now. Here's my number. I'll get you that ice cream some overtime. Thanks. Before deciding my next move, I returned to my apartment for a moment of rest. A small piece of paper had been slipped under my door while I was gone. Don't go to the portal, was all it said. I considered the possibility of a hidden message, but that was unlikely. The statement was blunt and quickly scrolled. Someone clearly didn't want me to go to the portal, but why would I go there in the first place? As if it was out of order right now, such an action would serve no purpose. I looked outside the window at the portal's faint silhouette in the distance. The paper rustled in my fingers as I fidgeted with it, wondering about the message center and significance. My train of thought was violently interrupted by a sharp burst of gunfire echoing from the portal. I had to think fast. The gunshots ensured Rez's involvement. He was at the portal. The question was, why? If this was attempted to flee back to the human world, he would have received a rather unpleasant surprise the moment he would try to use a portal. Maybe Sebastian's theory was correct, and Reza held the part needed to prepare the portal, in which case his escape could be minimized. The gunshots themselves were never a question. Was someone trying to stop him? The police patrol may have seen them, and may have been taken by surprise. This could be another murder in progress. All of his murders were committed with a sharp weapon before now, not a gun. He didn't want to be heard. Besides, it's only early evening and town was still bustling. If Reza wanted to stay hidden, he would have done a rather poor job at it. Of course, there was also the possibility that he wanted to be heard. Jesus Christ, how much are we thinking here? The police, Maverick? It could easily be a trap for those hunting him down, and that technically included me, though I wasn't sure if he knew my involvement in this investigation. Also a real possibility that he knew my apartment was close enough to the portal to hear a gunshot. Could it be a signal for me? Regardless of the words, I held my hands for me. Unmistakable. Don't go to the portal. We're gonna go to the portal. The path I took was a familiar one by now. Even with night falling, it was easy to find my way around. Long, grotesque showers spread before me, and the atmosphere was eerie and dangerous. I couldn't tell if it was because of the evening shadow or darkness, or if I had the urgent situation tugging at my mind had twisted my perception. I hurried past the village border and pressed on. There was still a large distance to go. Suddenly, gloved hands grabbed me from behind, clapping over my mouth. I couldn't make a sound. From what I could see, it was the same hooded figure that I met in the maintenance room at the second murder. It's too late. Maverick arrived before you did, and you'll make sure no one uses the portal today. Don't follow me. I was shoved to the ground, and before I could regain my composure, the figure vanished into the darkness. If Maverick was still in the area, it was not a good idea to stay here. I wouldn't fuel his suspicions, or worse. I figured it was time to go to the police department anyway. He tried to go to the portal. We learned absolutely nothing. There you are, Sir Perdak. What? It seems to me you've taken a liking to Bryce's chair. Maybe. I could get used to this. Don't tell Bryce, though. By the way, we have evidence that Reza visited the portal today. Someone reported loud bangs consistent with what we knew about this weapon. We didn't manage to catch him, but I wonder if this stuff meant he's getting desperate. Who knows? Now, let me take a look at what you got for me. This isn't much information to go on, but who knows when it could come in handy. I do what I can. I know, and your help is greatly appreciated, believe me, especially since we're so short on staff right now. That'll be all for today. We'll contact you if we need anything. Of course. See you next time. See you. Oh, that was the first bad investigation, guys. It's terrible. Huh. Oh yeah, we don't get to meet up with Bryce anymore. We can't have more drinking contests. I'm curious to see how far Dean's first line goes, though. No, not Dean, Anna's.
There you are. I was wondering if you'd even show up.
I wouldn't miss an opportunity to meet you.
A glutton for punishment, huh? Not that I might. Follow me, please.
We're doing science, people! So what exactly is this room?
It's our testing room for research on live subjects.
And what exactly do you test here?
You see that? Soon enough. I intend to use this facility to its fullest potential.
I see.
Let's start with this one.
What's that?
I can get a good look at your bone structure, muscle groups, and organs with this, but the finer details will need a different machine. Would you please lie down here?
Of course. Before we start, can I ask about your qualifications?
You can trust me, I'm a doctor.
What kind of doctor?
A doctor of pharmacy is the only title I currently hold, but I know how to operate this machinery.
That doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
Think I'll let an opportunity like this go to waste by not doing my research? I'll have you know that I'm very qualified to perform these tests.
If you say so.
Please try not to move much while this is running.
And how long will that be?
Good question. I suppose we'll see soon enough.
And what do we do now? Just wait until it's over?
What do you want me to do? Dance for you so you don't get bored?
What does a dancing dragon look like anyway?
Is that your scientific curiosity shining through? I can approve there.
You didn't answer my question.
Well, I'm not going to show you. If you're that curious, you might find the answer in the seedier parts of town.
Your town has seedy parts?
Oh, there's a lot you haven't seen yet.
Please let that not be what I'm thinking it's meaning. You know, when I heard that something happened in the facility, I thought it might have been you.
It's quite something, isn't it? You know, if I stayed as late as I usually do, it might have been me instead of Damon. It's only because you told me not to stay so late so often that I wasn't there that night.
Still, somebody died.
I'm not crying over that bastard. Alright, you can move again.
Does that mean I'm done?
That's a good one. We're just getting started.
What about the results?
Don't hold your breath. It's processing for some time, and the resulting data will be so vast I'm hoping you end up studying it for days. Let's collect some samples now. Where should I start?
Wherever you like.
Show me your claws.
That would be fingernails in my case.
I suppose you're right. You're being insulting to those little those thin little things of yours claws. They probably break off before you can make use of them in any practical way.
Just one more way, nature. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
So which part of it would be fine for me to cut off?
Take a piece from the white part. The rest you see is attached to the finger.
Hold still then.
Don't cut off too much.
Don't worry, I only need enough to put under a microscope. There, was that so bad? Do you want me to put a bandage over your lips?
I'll show you a boo-boo.
No thanks.
What now?
I'll go right under the microscope.
She got up and sat down at a table intently. Adam stared at the device while messing around with the nail clippings.
Let's see.
Putting your fingernail under a microscope is something we used to do in middle school.
Quiet please, there's a scientist at work here.
Okay.
This structure is a lot like keratin.
Because it is.
But that's not much of a surprise, really. Keratin is the substance that forms the claws of us dragons and most of the animals here, at least as far as mammals, reptiles, and birds are concerned. So why would you retain the structure but not do anything useful with it? It's beyond me!
It gets better. They grow continuously, so they need to be cut regularly.
What happens if you don't cut them?
They just keep growing.
How much can they keep growing?
Pretty much indefinitely.
Do they get thicker at least, or what happens when they grow?
They just get longer.
What a hassle.
So how long are you planning on keeping me here?
Getting impatient already?
I'm just saying our date didn't take all that long, and you mentioned you already have days worth of data from that machine.
Well, we never specified any terms, and I sat out our date until it was officially over. This will certainly go by a lot quicker if you show a little patience.
Says the Queen of Complaining.
I don't complain, I just point out errors. Besides, I'll be Empress, not just a Queen. By the way, how do you feel about those needles?
Go ahead and... I don't mind them.
Glad to hear that. You'll need to remove some layers for the next part.
What are you going to do?
Layers are some electrodes. I'll also measure brain activity performed in those helmets.
Alright.
There you go. What is it now?
It's kind of cold in here.
Is it? I suppose it might be for you, considering your lack of fur.
You don't have fur! Your scales! You're cold-blooded!
Luckily, her scales are pretty good insulate.
No, they're not! You're cold-blooded! Your body temperature is the same as the outside and everything around you!
As you saw last time, it actually goes both ways. We're pretty resistant to both heat and cold.
No, you're not! Just let me know if I turn blue.
You turn blue when you get cold. I'd like to see that.
It was just a joke. Besides, when that happens, it's usually too late to get out of it again unscathed.
What a shame. This will also take a while. I want to know. I'll have a good reference and see how your rates change. Your head shape is a little different from ours, but I think this one should do the trick. Perfect, just as if it was made for you.
I'm not so sure about it, that. By the way, how can you even be sure that your machinery will have no adverse effects on me?
I suppose I can't.
That is mildly unsettling.
My physiology is similar enough to ours that there shouldn't be any problems.
I see.
I'm going to ask you a few questions.
What is this, a polygraph test?
No, this is something completely different. I'm also measuring your brain activity here. Besides, I don't really care about the truthfulness of your answers. Rather, this is to establish your natural highs and lows of the values I'm measuring.
Go ahead, then.
Let's start with the easy ones. Just say no to the following 3 questions. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Understood?
Yes.
Are you human?
No.
I see. Is your favorite color teal?
No.
Interesting. Have you been convicted of any crime?
No.
I see. Now we'll get to the real part. You can answer the following questions however you like.
Got it.
Did it make you uneasy when you had to answer all the test questions negatively?
No.
I see. Interesting. Have you taken a Are you taking a liking to anyone here since you arrived?
Yes.
I see. Do you have any ulterior motives to indicate to our owners? Simple as we were led to believe.
No comment.
I see. That is all for today. You can take off the helmet and I'll take care of the electrodes.
This kinda seemed like an interrogation.
I wanted to keep it simple by asking questions that could get a reaction.
I see.
It's kind of a shame because in the end, the lack of additional subjects for the assessments, those results might not be very useful for us. We'll probably need a few more humans.
Then why do them in the first place?
The data is still useful, just not as useful as it could be. And besides, if I did tell you, I'd make the most of this room.
Well, what's next?
I'm not sure yet. Do I want to get close enough to examine the musk or on the orifices?
There was only one person in this room who can answer that question.
I guess so. We quarantined Reza when he initially arrived here, but skipped the procedure review. After examining Reza, we didn't think humans by themselves posed any danger. Nevertheless, who knows what kind of illness or bacteria might be happening against an alternative host. I'll take that risk for that full protective suit.
Does that mean your procedures are going to get a lot more invasive?
Oh, not in the mood to put on the suit and sterilize the whole room.
To be fair, I haven't heard of anyone I've been in contact with getting any strange diseases thus far.
Sure, but I've asked you if any of those got actually close to you. As in, intimately close.
No orifice examinations then.
For the next part, we'll actually have to go outside.
That sounds like fun.
Defense, here, strap this onto your arm.
What's this?
A handheld monitor. I want to measure how you perform during exercise.
Yes, man.
That's a good...
This game. This game.
Let's go then, shall we?
Sure thing. And now?
Take one lap around the block. I'll be waiting for you here. You can go as fast or slow as you want, but try not to stop until you're back here. I'll be monitoring you, so I'll know if you try to do anything fishy.
I won't do any such thing.
Of course not. The honest good surfer attack would never do such a thing.
Yes. Honest. Honest. I would never lie to anyone. There's no need to make fun of me here for it.
It's such a bleeding heart for attack. Anyway, you can stop whenever the more should take care of the rest.
Trying for a consistent speed, I started with a light jog. Soon I was outside the gate and around the corner where I met with an unexpected surprise. Oh, Sir Protag! Hey Remy, no long time no see. Indeed, just enjoyed the fresh air, I see. Yeah. You know, if you want to come by and visit the library or need to know anything, feel free to ask me. I will, thanks. My pleasure. I think the game wants me to visit Resi. I finished my lap around the block, arriving only a few minutes after I had started.
I suppose it was too much to ask for a lap without any breaks. Maybe I should have expected you to be...
I got distracted on the way.
Also, did you have to stop and smell the flowers?
I met Remy.
Remy? Oh, I wouldn't mind if that bastard kicked the bucket too.
What do you have against him?
He's such a self-righteous do-gooder who can't help but stick his nose where it doesn't belong. I don't care what he does as long as it doesn't mess with me, but it does mess with me, so I do care. Anyways, I got your data so we can head back inside and not too exhausted to walk.
Of course.
Looking at your data, it's kinda hard to evaluate it without having any reference points. How much exercise do you usually get?
A little?
I see.
Sure get to ask me a lot of questions here.
All just parts of the test. Though I think those were all just confusing one on you today.
Does that mean we're done here?
Oh, some of the data from the scanning machine have been processed. We can look at those. Some pretty pictures of you.
I'd rather be looking at some pretty pictures of you instead.
How that much you could come up with, seriously? Alright, I totally forgot you are my... The kind of intelligent man of all things, well, reasonably intelligent at the very least.
Why is that surprising? You already have your myths about humans.
Myths are myths. Having you here in the flesh is an entirely different thing. It's not like I could use your myths to get a scan like this one. Just seems so funny to me. Do you know you're young from your teeth as well?
We do.
Are you studying muscle groups or a bit?
Do you want me to take off my clothes again?
I meant the pictures.
Oh, I see.
It's stay for a bit longer than that, in case I have any questions.
Okay. While Katrina sitting on the bed, she went up to the table and started looking at the scans of the muscle groups. As she talked, her eyes never left the screen.
Some of these restrictions are very similar to those found in Damon's Guide.
I'm not surprised. His structure is similar enough.
True. Now shut up and let me concentrate.
Does that approach ever work?
What are you talking about?
You being that rude to everyone.
Sorry.
You apologize, that's a new one.
I don't want to make any excuses, but with a high-pressure job like mine, I don't really go out and socialize much. I had some deteriorating circumstances to that, and you've got my life.
Don't you have any friends?
Not really. You keep skipping grades like I did and enroll in the fast track in university. You don't really have time to make or keep any friends either. I think the last time I had a real friend was more than a decade ago.
What happened to that friend?
Well, we went to the same class for a while. I ended up skipping a grade out that year. She found new friends, I didn't. We still met, but those visits became less and less frequent as time went on. I was around 10 years old when the parents wanted me to visit her. She was in the hospital, apparently had been for some time already. I didn't know because I hadn't seen her for quite a while at that point. She contracted some sort of degenerative disease that caused her to gradually lose control of her muscles.
This game, it goes from 0 to 11 in a matter of seconds. It's weird.
Her case was particularly bad. She was already paralyzed from the neck down by the time I went to visit her. Running her to the room, I couldn't even pretend to be her friend. Lying in the bed was just a crude image of her former self. It was as if she was already dead. I couldn't bear to see her like that. It scared me. I didn't stay long. Seeing her like that, I just told myself I never wanted to end up like her, dying slowly, painfully, and alone. That was the last time I saw her. She died a few weeks later.
That's why you became a scientist?
Not really. I became a scientist because that's barely what I'm good at. Doesn't make my work any less important, though. Just from what we did here today, we might take a big breakthroughs in several areas.
Really?
You're completely different, yet same aloof in every line. There are some things that are similar in our bodies, and others are completely different. Anything that is different and works that can tell us something new about biology. All the various specimens have their own challenges and diseases. It will come in handy somewhere, for sure.
You're doing all that because you're pure, unselfish heart.
Not really, but if I do the blood of the work, then I deserve to have my name on it.
I guess so.
Well, I think that's it for today. You can go if you like.
Sure, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. We can get together if you want to.
Is there anything left you need for you to test?
Well, I plan to tie up for a while, so I guess we'll have to find something else for us to do.
I see.
Well,
I'll leave you to your work then. That was a date. Looks like I have free time today. Oh, I can't do that again, sadly. Let's go with it, Dean! We're gonna get all the ladies. This should be the right address. I'm coming!
Oh, gee, I was expecting someone else. You're a little early.
It's been several days! Yeah, I didn't know how long it would take me to get here, but better early than late, right? So, she called us to meet up back in chapter 2. It has been now chapter, like at the start of chapter 2. It's now chapter 3. We've been almost exiled. And we're early. We're early, guys. Can you believe that? It's amazing. Yeah, I didn't know how long it would take me to get here. Better early than late, right?
You know, I'm glad I'm deciding not to send you away after all.
Me too. And who might that be?
This is Amelia. She's one of the kids I work with.
Hello. Hello, Emily.
Say hi, Emily. Hello. I just have to bring her back to the orphanage real quick. Feel free to make yourself at home in the meantime, okay?
Sure. No, we're not going to skip ahead. We gotta show off the amazement that is this date. So this is where you live, Nadine. Small but cozy.
I'm back.
That was quick.
Being able to fly does have its perks, you know.
Well, wait, you flew her back?
Oh, I am a delivery farm.
She doesn't get scared or anything?
Not at all, she's such a brave little girl.
So what exactly is that you do at the orphanage?
I'm a volunteer. I help them out with whatever they need and sometimes take care of the kids. There's only so many social workers. The ratio is about 1 social worker for every 10 children. So it's good to get the kids to spend some one-on-one time with someone they know. I guess you could almost call it babysitting, but for the kids we basically become foster parents. The older they get, the less likely they are to be adopted. She might be too old to be considered soon.
I'd adopt her if I could.
I'm afraid it's not just that easy. The actual number of adoptions isn't very promising either. I'm worried about what will happen to her if she doesn't find a family. I still need to take care of her, of course, but it's not quite the same as having parents. I'd adopt her myself, but I don't think I can care for her properly. I'm a single parent with my packed work schedule. I still have to volunteer as often as I can, because if I don't, who else? Who needs to be there for those kids?
That was very nice of you.
Thanks, but for me, it's not about being nice. I almost feel obligated to help, you know? And let's talk about something less depressing.
Like what?
Let me think. Oh, I remember something.
Oh no! That's not depressing at all. Here in your apartment?
No, not here, Scaly. Your school's though, barely a block from here.
Right, the murder of the maintenance guy. I remember that.
Wham! Was it a murder? I didn't know that. I thought it was an accident or something. That's terrible!
Sorry for mentioning it.
Finding the first victim is already bad enough for me, and now I have to hear there was another murder in town. I wish I could get some good news for once.
Don't just focus on the bad things. It's no use laminating on something you can't change.
Sorry, Sir Pertek, I guess I should be more positive. It's not always easy, you know.
Maybe we'll get some good news soon.
I hope so. That reminds me, I've got something I wanted to try on you.
Try on me?
It's nothing too dramatic. I read this
magazine the other day and I found a few interesting articles. I don't like where this is going. Well, I already know where it's going because I've done this before, but... Using her partial hand, she held up a magazine to show me its cover. A rather bold-looking female was presented on the front, adorned with trinkets like rings and jewels. Various headlines gave me an idea of the content within. It reminded me a lot of typical CrossFit magazines back home. Lifestyle! A magazine for modern people?
The issue even came with a set of fortune cards!
I'm sure they're qualified to determine my fate. Articles like 5 steps to get the partner of your dreams?
Come on, it'll be fun!
If you say so.
What should we look at first?
You decide.
Alright, let's see. It's the article that talks about dreams and what they mean. Have you had any stream or recurring dreams or anything?
I've been dreaming of fire, I guess? Because danger?
Fire, that's interesting. Apparently it's a rather common symbol that can mean a variety of things. I never think to consider the significance of the symbol to the dream, so what does fire mean to you? Fire can be destructive, but also wild and passionate. It can accept that an issue you problem can no longer ignore, similar to an actual fire breaking out. Also mentions prophetic dreams, so let's hope yours don't fall into that category.
I doubt they do.
Phew.
What about your dreams?
It's kind of feels like they're different every night. Most of them are nonsense, but sometimes I dream of people I used to know.
What do you make?
What do you make of all this?
I don't know.
Even the article concludes the science have figured exactly why we dream. It's a big mystery! Alright, let's move on.
Oh, I thought you meant moving on for the magazine.
Don't be such a sourpuss! There's some interesting stuff in here!
But that dream stuff wasn't so bad, right, kids?
See, I told you this was going to be fun.
What's next?
A personality test. Didn't always want to know what kind of relationship would suit you.
I'd like to see a close relationship between this magazine and the trash can. Sure, but that's rude. I won't actually be successful here, right?
Let's find out. Okay, first question. In a relationship, what role do you take?
I like to switch it up once every while.
Variety is a spice of life, right? Moving on to the next question.
Wait, aren't you going to answer the questions too?
I'll take that test after you. I don't want to keep track of both our scores at once.
Alright.
What's your favorite dessert?
What? I like lemons, I guess.
That's unusual, but sounds really interesting. I'd love to try some. Here's the next question. What is your dream job?
None of these. So I'm going to let random.org decide for us. Alright. Share a random number between 1 and 3 for me, please. Okay, it's 3. I guess we're gonna be a stay-at-home parent then.
I'm on with you on that one. Does that really qualify as a job?
Questioning the almighty magazine.
Forget I said anything.
How many more questions are there?
That's all of them. I have to look up the results. I to see the results are outlined in the way those booklets that came in the magazine, but I already threw that away.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, I really wanted to know. But now I get to the best part, the fortune cards!
Give me 1 second.
It's taboo!
The time machine from Nintendo. Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to. Yeah.
Me too!
That's not supposed to work anyway. I mean, they're just cards. How can they predict the future?
Apparently there are different schools of thought regarding our use of fortune-telling cards. The cards themselves don't know anything, they're just a tool. So the information actually comes from somewhere else.
But where though?
Well, one interpretation there is our subconscious that gives us the answers we seek. Similar to how dreams can be interpreted, the interpretation of the cards is very dependent on the person itself and the symbols they recognize in the cards' images. We recognize images that are relevant to our lives, and that gives us an idea about ourselves and our current problems. However, that's the most grounded interpretation out there. People usually associate something more paranormal with fortune cards. One of the explanations that our cards are a way to communicate with our higher being, a paranormal entity that knows more than we do and gave us subtle ledgers uses the cards.
And who would that be?
The explanations range from ghosts to angelic beings. One even involves humans.
Really?
Yeah, people would say you could communicate with humans this way. And also there's something they call the higher self.
Higher self? How come you know so much about this?
Because I read the article about it.
Oh.
Okay, what should I draw for you?
Why don't I be the one who gets... Why don't I get to be the one who's reading the fortune?
Because I paid for the magazine, so the cards are mine! All mine!
Okay. So what are my options?
I could read your past, present, or future. What's it going to be?
I guess the future.
The fictional future is most people associate with the readings. Out of the purpose of the person in question for a possible future rather than just predicting it. Oh my!
What is it?
The card we've drawn is associated with drastic measures, particularly those in the final conclusion. That card can be interpreted in many ways, but it can refer to death, the ultimate conclusion. It can also mean many other things, like a final outcome or brewing conflict, or positive resolution to a long-running conflict. What do you think?
I wonder... I think I know what this refers to.
Yeah, can you already know about the future?
Let's just say I have a hunch. You mentioned resolutions conflicts have been brewing. It's definitely stuff brewing.
Gets everything the magazine has to offer.
Now you can finally put it in the trash for the logs.
Actually, yeah, it's not like I'm gonna read the articles again. But I'll keep the cards because it's a shame to just throw them away. The pictures are so artistic and pretty.
I agree with you there.
It's got to be so much work reading a magazine like this. From selecting the topics, writing the articles, doing all the photos and the layouts, then to going to shops and into the hands of customers. All that work just to end up in the trash. If how often they come out, it's like they're designed to be disposable.
At least they can recycle the materials.
That's true, I suppose. Do you have anything interesting going on at the moment? I can't imagine what a master life is like.
It's been busy, but It's been busy. I thought this whole thing would go by quickly without any mishaps, but now it seems like there's always something happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I figured I'd come here, do the exchange, and leave again, but apparently it's not that easy.
It never is.
Speak like you've had an experience as an ambassador.
Oh no, but doing deliveries is similar. People order something, I fly to them, we exchange a product for payment, then I go back. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, sure.
But things always go wrong. For example, imagine you have 2 deliveries, make it the first one go smoothly, okay?
I'm imagining it very hard right now.
Alright, so you get to the destination of the second delivery and they actually check what you're handing them. Turns out you mixed up the orders, but you already delivered the first one.
That's certainly not a pleasant situation to be in.
Now you go back to the first one you delivered to, who by now have fallen nerves so they got the wrong delivery and exchanged what you gave them for what they actually ordered.
Right?
But it turns out that didn't mind the max stuff. As a matter of fact, they have already started eating what they got instead. Not so bad that they are angry, but they can't exchange the orders anymore, so you have to fly back to the restaurant and get the second order remade.
Happens all the time.
As a result, the people waiting for the second order do get angry because the order has to be remade and delivered all over again.
And the plot thickens.
They complain, of course, get the meal cooked. The restaurant can no longer sell that first order you still have, so the orders for both families are deducted from your paycheck, and you end up eating nothing but ramen all week again, just so you can make rent this month.
That is most unfortuitous.
And that's why you always have to double check your orders, because even a small mistake can have consequences reaching further than you'd think.
Sometimes we just have to learn the hard way.
I guess so.
Anyway, what else have you been up to recently?
You remember the stunt flying competition I told you about?
Of course, I assume your participation is given by now?
Actually, I'm not so sure about that. I mailed the application earlier today, so hopefully it'll arrive before the deadline. Or maybe I should just fly it over myself, while showing off a few moves, that is.
You should fly over anyway, make sure you get it in. It would be a shame if you couldn't enter just because of a technicality.
Yeah, I really should drop by. By the way, could you do me a favor?
That depends on the favor, I suppose.
It's kind of a long story, but there's something I need. You know how some people at the police station, right?
Yes?
I think they're in possession of a map relating to an underground building they found.
I've heard about that.
Oh, that's great. Maybe you could get them to hand it over. It doesn't even have to be the real thing. A copy would just be fine.
What do you even need it for?
Let's just say I'm interested in doing a little investigation of the place myself.
What's so special about it?
It's supposed to be a remnant of an earlier civilization, or maybe it's something created by humans. Who wouldn't be interested in that?
I'd pay. I'd pay a visit if I could.
See, I think if you put your word in, we could easily make it happen.
How do I even ask for something like that?
Gotta say that humanity is interested in.
Well, honestly, they probably would be.
Could you ask them for me, please?
I can try.
Thank you, this means a lot to me.
I don't know you were into archaeology. I wouldn't care as
much as it turns out to be some old building. The whole thing about it being made by humans was really interesting.
What's that?
Well, the myth about there wouldn't be very mythical anymore if that was the case. We have proof.
And that's so shortly after finding out that humans are in fact real.
Yes, what a time to be alive.
So you believe in all that stuff?
Believe isn't the right word when you're standing right in front of me, you know. That alone is a miracle. I get excited all over again just thinking about it.
Speaking of which, all this December made me lose track of the time.
Is that late? Or is it that late already? Oh, actually I have places to be. Especially I want to make sure my contest application arrives on time.
Guess I should be getting going then, huh?
Unless you want to sit in my empty apartment. You can always bring me a visit during practice sometime if you'd like.
You mean your stunt flying practice?
Yeah! Anyway, we'll have to go, so I'll call you later, okay?
Sure. We go on to the chapter 4, which I think is the last one. Why do we have 2 cars? Oh well. We'll find out. It's a mystery. We'll find it all out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Okay, we're ending.